And welcome back again. O, diba? Ako'y nagbabalik, guys. Ayan. So, mega, mega love shout out to you, everyone, again and again. We are back. We are going to talk about what is the problem in society. Do you guys know what does society means? Society has too much free will without logical thinking. Diba? It is. It is. Everyone can share their stories, or if you don't want to share the stories, your opinion on what is wrong in society today. We all have our problems in society, but at the same time, what are the myth of stresses as well? I kind of wanted to explore that and let me know what do you think about it. If you are one of those people that sometimes when you see something wrong in your surroundings, you get upset, you get stressed about it. For example, in YouTube itself, right? Even me, like I do commentary channel as well from time to time. I do react on different, I think, which is kind of like, I feel like you have to share awareness about different topics. Right now, you can basically say anything. And I'm from Asia. I'm Asian. I think I kind of grew up in an era where I couldn't really freely tell what I think. I have to constantly think about people around me. And in Japan, we have a culture where you will feel bad if the other people around you, you're bothering them too much. We have a culture that we don't want to bother people. So that means we're not going to tell anything wrong, even though we feel like it. Just in YouTube, like doing YouTube, it's too open. I feel like everyone has such a voice. There's just no logic. Sometimes people just talk just so to talk. Or sometimes you get to see big channels. They would tell their opinions on something. And it's so hard for me to take some of them seriously because you don't know if they're going for the right of the trend or they're telling that because they believe in it. And sometimes whatever they believe in is really bad. It's not good. I think, that's what I think. What do you think? Cancel culture. Another one. Definitely. I take a huge responsibility being such a commentary channel at the same time, like talking to you. I cannot really just say anything, everything. YouTube is a platform that there's rules. It is what it is. Even as much as I want to talk like topics that I really feel passionate about, there are certain things you can talk because people in cancel culture, they will dig on that. Not that I'm saying I'm famous or anything, because I'm not, but I'm saying like for famous people, they will dig something from way, way back. You know, this is the cancel culture. We know that as life, every year you learn something. Every year you've changed. You as a young person, probably all of us are stupid when we're young. AI, for example, we see the dangers and threats, but still decide to go forward with it. Just because we can. But logic says, learn more about consciousness before creating and unleashing another. Ooh, AI. Have you ever watched Boston Mechanic, the one that actually built like the coolest of the coolest but super cringy stuff like robots? Boston Dynamics. It's kind of awesome, especially for, you know, like military and stuff. They're doing it also for safety issues. So rather than people going in, you can just use robots. It's a good thing. But sometimes if you watch them, guys, oh my God, really? Like, oh, Jesus. And if you watch Black Mirror, huh? And if a person like me who's paranoid and think too much, or sometimes it's scary. In Japan, there's this Coco's restaurant. And I just learned that Coco's restaurant is not even Japanese. It's American. It's like Dennis in Japan. So in Coco's, there's this robot that rather than a waitress giving us our food, it's gonna be this robot. And for some weird reason, it's just really creepy. Yeah, we'll just see. We will see. If you've watched Black Mirror on Netflix, if you know what I'm saying, it's really, really scary. But I cannot lie. AI is kind of cool. Really scary at the same time. How much really an AI can do? Can it really outrun us like the same in the movies? But I believe watching different people talking about AI, we'll see. I chose AI to avoid hot button issues. Oh, I get what you mean. I get. TikTok. Don't get me started. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. But this is the thing, guys. I know when I started YouTube, a lot of people, and I guess even if you're not a YouTuber, you probably know that having social media is a type of marketing yourself for business and anything. And I tried TikTok, you guys. I did really try. But the thing is, I know there's good creators on TikTok, but we all know that the people that are actually like really, really high on TikTok aren't that. And it's really, really mind-boggling to me. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. The girls that are actually getting a lot of followers, is that how you call it, followers? You know, just because of like, God bless their heart, can't do it, but good for them. But the thing is, Jesus Christ. And that's the reason why a lot of people have very short-term memory. Ganon. If you read the permissions of TikTok, it's why US decided to ban is not the content. As a content creator, you have to explore this stuff. But it took me a while to actually install it because it's, you know. Do you think, you know, having gray hair is because number one is stress? And madami na, lahi and cause of stress. In the Philippines, that's what they're saying. That's why I told you guys, if you have it, flaunt it. Because we're not always going to be young. There'll come a day your skin will be, you know, not good. Your face not good. Your body will fade. So once you have it, flaunt it. Diba? Again. I've had white hair since I was a child. I was told it means wisdom at a young age, but now it's 100% stress. Oh my God. It's genetics. And I think your hair does not produce those things that causes your hair to be black. Society has a lack of respect for each other. Definitely. Definitely. That's the thing. I don't know about other countries, but in Japan, it's so hard. It's really, really hard because it's like we do have ranking system in Japan. If you are working longer time in a company, you're going to be our senpai, which means you're in the top and we have to pay respect. In other countries, I believe it doesn't exist like that, which can be a good and bad thing. Whatever it is, I just really feel like a lot of people nowadays are just really not about the balance anymore. It's all about trending. Dancing robots are cool. Robots that do our homework are cool. But they also release videos of them abusing and knocking them down. Oh, they're always going to be like that. Sometimes I feel like, ayoko na sa earth. We have this in Tagalog. It means like, I don't want to be on earth anymore because of how stupid people can be really. There are just really people out there that are just exaggerated. Everything right now seems to be exaggerated. You have something, like for example, AI. Something that is good, can be used in good, but there's always going to be bad people out there. There's going to be people that would ruin it. Just probably with TikTok, you guys. Like probably TikTok. There are good content creators on TikTok that I've seen. But because it doesn't sell. Jesus Christ. So, I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, guys, but I can't do it. It's like, I feel like if I'm on TikTok, I feel every brain cells in my brain just dies. And I'm pretty sure some of you are using it in a good, some of you are using it and following good content creator. I mean, I'm not going to be hypocritical here and I'm not going to tell you I'm not watching reality TV show. I do watch reality TV show. I guess all of us are have our kind of like guilty pleasures. But if you have kids, guys, don't let them on TikTok. Just saying. TikTok is where they go when they can put out real content. There's this whole thing on YouTube world. They're kind of concerned about shorts back in the day because a lot of TikTok creators that are doing that will explode in YouTube. But I think YouTube people that actually watch on YouTube are still a little bit, you know, not as, I don't know. You think, I don't know. If society is wrong, why are we reproducing? That's the real question, is it? Meaningful suffering till 2017. Into this terrible society. Your kids didn't consent into this suffering life. I feel it comes down to parenting. I don't know about other countries, but I feel like in the Philippines, where I kind of studied, we are taught that your first kind of society is your family. So I feel like as a parent, you really have a huge responsibility. That's why being a parent is probably the most hard job ever that you'll probably have to do if you want to have kids. If you want to have kids, make kids that are actually is good for this society. Don't create kids that are dumb. That's what I mean. But the thing is, we actually know that, the more dumb you are, the more you reproduce. There's a saying like that. Don't quote me on that because that's not my quote. But there's a super popular saying like that. Dumb parents give birth to dumb kids. It's genetics. Oh my God. I like ICEE. She's on intellectual and that's refreshing in women these days. Ooh, thank you. I do appreciate that. I do try. I do try to learn as much as I can because there's a lot of things that I feel like we really just needs to learn. But I also know there's a lot of things that I don't really need to learn. Things that will help people, especially now that I'm doing this. We all have our own wisdom that we can share to each other. It doesn't really matter that whether this experience for you is something that is bad or good, because we kind of like different paths. And sometimes your experience might not be as a big deal with someone else, but talking about it, you can actually share something that a lot of people might not even know exists. ICEE is dope. Ooh, I like that. I'm dope. Are you sure? Thank you. At least we should have liberal euthanasia. If any adult wants to end their life, they should have an option for physician-assisted euthanasia. Ooh, very, very serious talk. Yeah. In this world, it's been always a talk, and I think it comes down to consent. And if I'm sure no one would reproduce. Reproduction is a selfish act. Why reproduce when you can adopt? This is my thing when it comes to reproduction. Giving life is such a huge responsibility that I feel like blaming about reproducing kids is so easy, and blaming sex because it's really good and that's why. There's always options. You don't want to have kids. It's a very, very cheap. Some countries offer them for free. At the same time, it all comes down to education. Birth leads to death. Ooh, of course. I wonder if it doesn't lead to death, where would it lead? One should ask, what kind of death they want their offspring to die from? Ooh, I don't think anyone would want to answer that question. Meaningful suffering till 2070. Now, you got me interested in meaningful suffering. Why do you do the meaningful suffering till 2017? Do you think that suffering is a part of your life or something like that? What is meaningful suffering means to you, and why is that your name? Random question. Just kind of like observing, guys. Would not a man rather have so much sympathy with the coming generation as to spare if the burden of existence, or at any rate not take it upon himself to impose that burden upon it in cold? Oh my God, I think I already used all of my English meaningful suffering. That's too deep. That's too much English that I seem to not understand. In short,
would not a man rather have so much sympathy with the coming generation as to spare it the burden of existence?
But the thing is, if you think about it like that, if you think it that way, it just feels like you're already giving up. And that's the thing with humanity. Books, movies, we humans evolved in hope, love. Whether we like it or not, whether it's corny or not, if your opinion is personally you don't want to have kids, of course you can do that. That's not the point. My point is we all have our own preference. And the thing is, if you want to adopt or something like that, you just have to implement and raise kids, new kids that are actually going to be good in our society. And I think it is possible. But if you're going to have that mental thought that it's already like, it feels like you're already giving up on humanity, then yeah, I mean, sometimes I do feel like that. Like, I'm so done with humans, especially when you see all of these like stupidity all over. Like, no more critical thinking, no more logical thinking. Everyone is just blah, 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 blah. And everyone is sharing something that is not good for everyone. Just because it's good for you doesn't mean it's good for everyone. But hi, that's what we are here for. Smile. Smile is free. And if you feel like you are feeling sad or something like that, just remember we have Saturdays and we are here. We're waiting for you every Saturday.